Hello, hello. Welcome to Higginsanity. I'm your host, Jason Higgins.
I'm your co-host Dan Slott. As always, please subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. It's all one Dan Sanity at Twitter. At on YouTube is Higgins Sanity. So subscribe, do all that stuff. Email address onedansanity@gmail.com. With that being said, what is up?
Not much. I have honestly, next weekend I have a special announcement. Next weekend here in my hometown, we have what's called Squeal on the Eel. It's we kind of have this huge. It's a huge music festival. And what we have is we have beer, wine slushies. There's a mechanical bull, a bunch of barbecue sampling. There's a barbecue competition. Plus, we have a really cool car show because we have a lot of classic cars around my hometown. Just because we have it's a little bit older at times, so we have a lot of people in our town that collect classic cars. There's 3 or 4 people on my street alone that have one guy I think has like a 1969, 1970 Ford Mustang. It's real nice, but they have country artist Chase Matthew is actually performing. Blackstone Cherry is a band that actually is performing, and then the Hype is performing as well. So there's live bands, there's arts and crafts, free putt putt. Bouncy houses for the kids and free carousel rides because we have a really big carousel in my hometown. So that's big. So that's next Saturday, and so I'm excited for that just because it's a way kind of like one of the joys of, I guess, being in a smaller town. When they do put on stuff like this, people do go all out for it. So those things are a lot of fun to do. So
Nice, nice.
what about you, man?
I just got my hair cut. I'm feeling fresh,
Same.
but
Same.
no, more importantly, I started working out, doing that, and I'm doing a no juice June, so I'm not drinking the entire month of June. Get my workout schedule under control, get a routine in. So I've been doing that, so I feel good.
Awesome.
Been working out. I have a workout, like I just do it in my gym. I've got like a heavy bag and I got TRX straps and I've just got some free weights.
Hmm.
So I've just been working out in the gym, and then on days where I can't work out, I still like do like crunches and push-ups either
Yeah.
throughout the day or like in the morning and then at night. So
Staying
and
active.
then I've been riding my bike. So we live by the river walk, so like from our house doing 2 laps at the river and back is like just over 6 miles.
Hmm. Awesome.
So yeah,
Awesome.
getting
Yeah.
into it.
I actually I'm getting ready to go down the street at the John Deere place. It's like I forget what it's a couple places, but they throw out a bunch of their tractor tires. They just stack them up and they just leave them out there. And I went down there one day. I was like, "Hey, what do you do with those tires?" And they're like, "Well, if you want to pick one of them up, if you're gonna use it," he's like, You're more than welcome to take a couple." He goes, "We just throw them out, or people come and get them if they want them." He goes, People will put them in like their landscaping and like they'll put little flower
Hmm.
beds and stuff in them. But I'm going down there to get it because I got a sledgehammer. I'm gonna do my little sledgehammer workout from college ball on the
Okay,
tire. But I'm gonna put it back in the back of this. Probably put it in my shed, but then get it out and put it in the backyard. Obviously when I use it.
gosh,
But only if we
are
can
you gonna
get.
do tire flips too?
Yeah, yeah. I love doing tire flips. I have to be careful though with my back, so I'll have my back brace on. So
Right,
there's this
right.
one time it was hilarious. I was lifting. Actually, my mom was with me this night. She actually went to work out with me, and she's actually working out with me today. She's been staying consistent on it, just because she has some goals and she wants to stay healthy. And obviously, I was like, "You're more than welcome to come work out." And so she goes up to Planet Fitness with me because like I have that black card membership to where I can bring a
Hmm.
guest, and she kind of goes off and does her own little thing, and I do my thing. But there was this one time we were lifting up at the high school, and I went to do this tire flip, and I squatted down when I flipped the tire, and
Hmm.
my shorts ripped right as
Yeah.
I picked up the tire, just ripped right down the crack. And like I just had this bit like, and I'm wearing like my Peaches boxers, so I have like these white boxers with like the Peaches emojis, and you just see Peaches, just, and I had like my shorts just ripped, and I was busting up laughing. My mom was laughing so hard she was crying, and so because she was laughing so hard, it makes me laugh because I'm like, oh, I was. So yeah, that happened, but only if we can get our editor Skylar Skelton to stay consistent.
Yeah.
Hasn't lifted at all with me this week. I know he's pretty busy. He's got a lot of things going on with family and whatnot in the house, but hopefully, I know he's got some goals in the weight room as well. I mean, we all got goals in the weight room. Plus, it's my sanctuary since everything that happened, and it's where I like to spend a lot of my time, just because it's a way I can better myself, and I don't know, I'm fine. I'm comfortable in there. Plus, there's a bunch of
Yeah.
TVs in there, and I know half the people in there, and I get talking. Next thing you know, I'm 2 hours, 3 hours in, and I'm like, oh shoot.
See, I'm not like if when I go to the gym, I'm not like that. I like to go in, do my stuff, and like get out. Like not that it's like uncomfortable, but I'm just like to me like my mindset is I'm there to like get something done.
Mm-hmm.
And then like if I'm in the middle of something and staying around and talk for too long, then I'm like, ah, fuck, where was I? Or oh, I don't want to finish. Not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, see, I'll get my workout in first, but like I'll tan there as well at times. But after I get my workout done, it's always like when I get my workout done, then one of my buddies comes in or somebody I know, or work colleague, and then they want to start
Yeah.
talking. Plus, if I see my parents in there, because they go at different times, but a lot of the times, during the week, I go late at night. I go about, between 9:30, 10, 10:30. And so there's not a whole lot of people that's up there. But usually on the weekend is where I'll run into a lot of people I know, and that's when. But I do have a couple buddies that they get done lifting about half an hour, or they get done lifting around that 9:30 time frame as I come in sometimes. So then I'll get to talking with them before I even get started. And so next thing you know, I'm a half hour late into my workout because I've been outside or walking in the gym talking to them.
Yeah, what's your average workout like actual workout time?
I would say probably 45 minutes is probably around
Yeah.
my average, 45, 50 minutes. Um,
Do you just do weights or do you do cardio as well?
I do weights. If I do cardio, then it's about an hour, hour 15.
Yeah.
So if I have it on, so it's about hour, hour and 15 if I have cardio in that workout.
Yeah.
But I
I
usually
tell you
do
what.
cardio separate with the one
Yeah.
that's whining back here because I'm not paying attention to her.
Right. Yeah, no, the first day I went to go work out and I start with the heavy bag just 'cause I'm like, all right, I'm gonna warm up, like get the blood flowing. Dude, I felt like such a weak piece of shit. Like 5 minutes in, I'm like I had no stamina because like people don't like people who haven't done it don't realize that like hitting a heavy bag is a cardio workout
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
And so like I was just like 5 minutes in, I was just like, oh my God, because my goal was like 15 minutes warm up, then go into lifting,
Mhm.
which I managed. I slowed down a little bit, but I got through my 15 minutes of heavy bag and then went to lifting. But
Yeah, I sent Skylar my playlist for when I was lifting the other day, or I said what was in my playlist, and it was a couple WWE old theme entrances like Kurt Angle and Batista, John Cena, and I'm like the other day we were in the weight room. I think it was last week, and I'm pumping weight, and I sent him a picture of the song I was listening to, and he was like, "Are you kidding me?"
what was the song?
It was the Kurt Angle theme song.
Oh, okay. So we both got our haircuts. How often do you go?
I go every 3 weeks.
See, it drives me nuts if I'm like a half a week late. I go every 2 weeks. My hair grows so fast. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. How much you pay for your haircut?
After tip, $40.
Yeah, mine's after tip, I think 56, 53.
Yeah. I've been going to the same stylist for like a little over 2 years now, so she does my beard and mustache and hair and everything.
Okay. Yep,
So
same as my
yeah,
guy. Yeah, I've been going to. I used to go to a guy that was above bonus pints, and he did really well. But the time frame that he cuts hair doesn't work with my work schedule, and so
Yeah.
with this guy, I can go later in the day or later in the night, and he does a fantastic job. And I've been going to him now probably since September. Yeah, since September of last
Yeah.
year. So.
See, I had a really good stylist and she did a really good job, but you can't tell, but my hair's like super coarse and like it's hard to cut right.
Mm,
And, like I've got these two like colics right here, and if you don't know
mm-hmm,
what you're doing, you're gonna mess up my hairline and stuff.
mm-hmm,
So she left, and then it took me like a year to find someone that I actually liked how they cut my hair and could
mm-hmm.
do a good job. And it was the chick who's doing it now, and like I said, it's been like over 2 years now. And I told her when I walked in the first time, I was like, just so you know, I'm really particular about how my hair's cut. So like, this is what I want. This is how I want it done.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just like see her freeze up for a second. So like, but then she did it like perfect the first time. I was like, all right, I'm coming back.
You find that one person, your one barber, your one person that cuts your hair, and it's like you don't want to change.
Hmm.
And like, I felt so bad when I was changing to my barber because it was like felt like I was being disloyal. Like I was like,
It's
he's
like
like,
you were
it's
cheating
okay,
on him or
man.
something.
Yeah, he's like, it's okay, man. Like, it's your work schedule. But I was like, I know, but you're my dude. Like, I've been going to you for such a long time. Like, we've built up this relationship. I've told you stories. But like, with my barber now, he was cracking me up. I walked in yesterday after work, and he's like, Mr. Higgins, the man with all the stories. He's like, I was just telling my girl yesterday. He's like, man, I got Mr. Higgins tomorrow. He's like, this dude has a freaking reality show TV life. And he goes, I love cutting his hair because he goes, man, it's just like, he goes, low key, he goes, some of the stuff I feel bad that you've had to, because, we'll get talking and, it's, we'll talk about like some of my work stories from back in the day, like at CP Child Protective Services, and
Hmm.
and then talking about prison stories now, but just talking about life stories in general, like my college days and sports days, basketball, baseball, whatever, high school. And what was hilarious, besides my barber, this you can the chick you're living with, she can vouch on this too. I guess she called our dad the other night and was like, and when my dad picked up the phone, she said, "Hey, it's your favorite child calling." And my dad's like, "Favorite child?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm your favorite child." And he's like, "Well, you're probably right." He goes, "You were my good child, and Ashley and Josh, I really don't hear from too much, and all Jason does is stress me out." I was like, yeah, hey man, that's what I'm here for. It's like I can't make things easy, for myself. Everything's got to be difficult.
Are you gonna be there Sunday?
Sunday. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
be this Sunday.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes. What time?
Nice. I don't fucking know.
You'll just have to let me
I was
know.
just told we're going down Sunday.
I don't. Who knows?
Yeah, because we had to change it because Sarah double booked on next Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
told.
she's doing the outdoor workout thing that her gym does.
Mhm.
And so I was volunteered to cook for everybody again. So,
What are you cooking?
I don't know. I think they want like barbecue chicken.
Mm.
So I'll be cooking barbecue chicken all day Saturday.
On the
It's fun though.
Blackstone?
Like they're a good group of, what's that?
On your Blackstone?
No, it's at one of the rich doctor's houses who lives on the river.
Ooh.
So
Bring the
yeah, it's a
swim
good
trunks,
time.
man.
Like they do like all their classes in the morning, and I cook while they're working out, and then they all come and eat, and then they've got like cornhole, can jam. They got boats and skis and tubing and jet skis and stuff. So
Alrighty. But no, that's cool. Are you gonna bring your swim trunks?
oh yeah,
There we go.
No, last year. So, like I said, they got the boat, and last year, all the kids were going tubing and stuff, and I was in the boat, and the guy was like, "Anybody else want to go?" I was like, "I mean, if all the kids went, I'll go." And so, like the ages varied from like I don't know, like 5 to like teenagers, right? So you know how like when you're a driver, you kind of judge the person in the tube, how fast they want to go, if they want to get like whipped around or like try and get dumped, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all the little kids, they're like, "Oh, he's gonna dump you, blah blah." And so I was like, "He can't dump me. Like it's not possible." So he's like, "Challenge accepted." So I get on the tube, and he was like whipping me around and going back and forth and making me go over all the wakes and stuff. And finally, he like slows down because he's getting back to his dock, and the boat like slowed down for him to pull in, and all the kids in the boat stood up and cheered and started clapping because he couldn't dump me. I was like, "I've never gone tubing and got a standing ovation before." It was great.
There you go. There you go. Sounds like it's gonna be a
I
good
love
time.
tubing though. It's so fun.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got a couple rivers down here that a lot of people will go tubing down and floating, and you'll see a lot of people. And they got big coolers of beer and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna get a kayak this summer and go kayaking uh, down the Eel River, which is right.
Yeah.
Actually, it's right off. I think it's right off Asboro. I think it's what it's called. Which is really literally right off my parents. So you can go right. I mean, I think you know where it's at. If you go down that stop sign instead of making a
Yeah.
right going out, you can make a left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I thought about kayaking, and I said something to a couple of my buddies, and they want to do that too. So just get out and do that. It'd be something different.
I'm not a fan of kayaking. I don't know. I haven't done it in a while. Maybe I changed my mind.
We gotta make it in a competition. We can race.
Set up,
Part of the
like,
beer Olympics.
set up the buoy and like go around the buoy and come back.
There you go. That could be part of the beer Olympics. It's actually not that far down.
Yeah, but the problem is neither of us have kayaks.
We can arrange. We can arrange. We can arrange.
Uh, I've got plans for the 4th, so
You guys not coming down?
no, no, no. I mean, I've got for us coming down. I've got plans. You'll see.
I'm waiting for my outfit to come on in. I'm excited for it. Very excited. I'm
You have to
interested
record it and post it.
and just to see the reactions of everyone.
You should do it. You should do it when Ashley's there, so she can record it, and then you can post it on the channel.
That would be hilarious.
What else you got going on this weekend? Anything?
I'm working out today. I got some graduation parties that I gotta go to.
Graduation parties.
Yeah, family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, make an appearance.
Yeah.
Sign some autographs.
Sign some autographs.
But now I got a graduation party got to go to, and I'm gonna grill out. I got to do some yard work. I'm behind on mowing just because with work and everything else going on.
Yeah.
I'm behind on mowing, so I gotta get that done this weekend. I don't know. I'm probably gonna take this weekend and work out and just get stuff done around the house. I was gone. Well, last weekend went to a Cincinnati Reds game with a couple people from work. We ended up losing.
How was that? Because didn't you have a suite?
Yeah, it was like we were able to go through like the suite area, and we had free food all the way through the 7th inning,
Yeah.
and to where we were able to go down. We went down to like a few rows in front outside like the door, so like we would go down, and it's like that suite area type deal.
Yeah.
But I had pulled pork, pizza, cheeseburgers, had a brat, had a bunch of Miller Lite. That wasn't free though. The beer wasn't free, so the beer wasn't free. That was fine though. Had a popcorn, bunch of popcorn.
What were they 24-ounce cans?
No, I don't. They were drafts, like
Oh, they were
the
drafts.
cups. So, but
How much were they? Like $8.50 a beer or something like that?
$12.93 a beer.
$12.93 a beer.
$12.93 a draft. I don't know how
Jesus.
much goes into it. I mean, it's more than one beer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm not sure if it's 2 full beers, if it's 1.5, whatever it is.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
probably my go-to. If I go to any like ball games and stuff like beer wise, I usually go like either Miller Lite, but or I mean restaurant wise, if I get a beer, it'll be like a
Yingling.
Yingling. But other than that, I usually stick with. I don't know, I've always stuck with like Miller Lite has been
Yeah.
my go-to. It's my shower beer at times too. If I ever have a
Your
shower
shower
beer,
beer.
I have a shower beer every once in a blue moon. Sounds like a drink. I don't drink like I drink once every blue moon, but if I do, it's like Miller Lite and that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
if I go to like a baseball game or something, I'm out chilling with the work friends and watching baseball and nice
I
weather.
feel like you're more of a seasonal drinker.
Yeah,
Like when it's nice out, you drink more, but like fall, winter, you drink a lot less. Like when you're outside doing stuff, I feel like you drink more.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like
I'm
I'm
not
playing
gonna lie
cornhole.
though, like a shower drink is like extra refreshing. Like if you like I'll do it sometimes after if it's really hot out, like after I mow the lawn.
Hmm.
And you're like I've been outside for like 3 hours because I like weed whack, I mow, do all that, and then like make a drink and get showered. It's like it's so much more refreshing. I don't know why.
I've been interested because I watch Bar Rescue and some of like the different like
I love
cocktails
that
and
show.
like mixers that they like will pull up and make. Super
Hmm.
interesting, super interesting. But then I watch like the TikToks and like I think it was if you get a Corona and you mix it with amaretto,
Hmm.
it's supposed to taste like Dr. Pepper.
I can see that.
So, but I've never tried it because I don't really, you know. Plus, with my workout plans and stuff like that, it's kind of defeats the purpose at times to drink, 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 because then it's like
Yeah.
you're ruining what you're
You're
gaining.
competing against yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I don't really do it because I'm more focused on my body, looking good in the
Yeah.
mirror, taking my pics.
Oh
Just
my
kidding.
gosh. Oh gosh.
Doing my daily affirmations. I'm so fly. I'm so hood. I'm
Are
so
you doing
sexy.
are
I'm
you
so
taking
good.
those pictures like once a week so you can see your progress? Like
Yeah,
pregnant people do?
I try to. I don't. I hardly ever post anything like that, but I do it for more like myself and just see like my gains and stuff. Plus, I keep like a journal of like my lifts and like my
Yeah.
reps or like my weight and things like that, just to see like my progress with that.
Yeah. I need to
So.
figure out some way to record mine. Like right now I'm recording it just on my phone, but whether it's a spreadsheet or if I find some like app or something, but I need to do that.
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's quite a few apps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've just taken different. I've kind of incorporated like my college ball workout where I gained a lot of muscle and mass when I was really like focused in the weight room.
Yeah.
And then I've also combined like other lifts I've learned from other athletes and like videos I've watched on TikTok and stuff that I've like added to my workouts. Like I don't know, like I know you don't watch WWE, but like Austin Theory, I don't know if you know
Hmm.
him. Like
Yeah.
I watched his arm workout, his all day arm workout with Sheamus. This dude's jacked,
I've
and
seen
so
that. I've
like
seen
I
that
added
before. It's
his
ridiculous.
workout, and oh my god, my arms afterwards is incredibly like it. I mean, it destroys you. And I
Yeah.
remember it was like my first or second time doing that workout, and it was my buddy Skyler and his dad, and they both did that workout, and they were both, I mean, they were killing, like hurting bad. So it's a great workout, and I've done it several times now to where, I can tell it makes a huge difference, just with like other lifts and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I mean, I enjoy it. Like I said, I used to not feel comfortable in the weight room at times just because with my injuries from basketball and whatnot, it kind of prevented me to be successful in certain lifts. And plus, I didn't really take it seriously for a while, anyways. And I was more of that guy that laughed around and joked around in the weight room, wanted
Yeah.
to play the music, wanted to be in control of the stereo more than
Right, right, right.
So, but now it's kind of I changed that mindset, and it's a lot better. So, plus those hydro massages, man, those are nice. Those hydro massage chairs, whew.
Yeah.
I about fall asleep on those things. I think my dad's probably fallen asleep before on that thing. I think he told me one time he fell asleep and like the lights went off and like somebody walked back there when the light turned back on. He's like, "Oh, my bad."
I've never had one of those.
Oh, it's nice. You can control it on like there's a little screen on the side, and you can control like how far it goes down your body and whatnot. And
Yeah.
usually I'll have it go like where like sometimes I'll have it just on my back, and then other days like I'll have it just on my legs, and then I'll do a full body. But it's like it's usually about 10. It's just
Right.
10. It's 10 minutes, but it's nice. I enjoy it.
I forget what I was doing or what I think I was looking for a present for one of my kids, and the mall doesn't open till like I don't know, like 10 or something like that, ridiculous.
Mhm.
But you can get in there early for like mall walkers. So I was out and about looking for this at a couple stores. I was like, "Ah, screw it. I'll go get a coffee and I'll just chill in the mall for like 15 minutes until the store opens." And they had those massage chairs in the mall. So like all these people are like mall walking, and I'm just sitting in a massage chair with my coffee by myself, just sitting there on my phone for like 15 minutes. Because it's like $8 for like a 20-minute massage.
Mhm.
So I just sat there for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, sipping on a coffee, watching all these people walk around the mall and shit.
Oh, you could definitely people watch at the mall all day if you really wanted
Oh
to, just to
yeah.
see
I
every.
love people watching. I love people watching. I also love like when two people are having a conversation and you're like sitting across from them and you're with someone and you like dialogue their conversation based on their movements and like what they're talking about.
Mhm. So we used to go to the mall like back in college, like me and my teammates and whatnot. Heck, even like when I played in the in the summertime for Spiece for the All Star team, like all of us we to kill time in between games because we'd play 8, 9, 10 games in a day, like on a Saturday, and
Yeah.
so in between games we'd go to the mall and whatnot. Well, there one time it's me and like at this time it was our first teams that we kind of built together, our all-star team. And you got guys from a bunch of like small towns, smaller schools, things like that. You got a couple guys from like South Bend and whatnot, but it's basically a bunch of country guys,
Yeah. Yeah.
farmer guys, the schools around us. You got McConaughey, Lewis Cass, Pioneer, Logan Sports, the big school around here.
Yeah.
Well, we all go into lids because we're getting ready to play in this championship game, and the championship game we're on the big court, okay. We're getting ready to play at this time. It's James Blackman Jr. who played for IU. You got Gary Harris and Zach Irvin on the team who both played at Michigan. Gary Harris plays in the NBA now. You had Trey Lyles on the squad, who's in the NBA right now. This team was stacked, all D1 players. I mean, the whole squad. I mean, Brenton and Bryson Scott, who played D1 basketball. So these guys were all elite hoopers, okay?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
around the court, you got Calipari, you got Izzo, you got Crean, you got all these big time D1 coaches, okay? Well, we go to lids and we all get flat bills, okay? We all get flat bills. We all walk in, and you just see 12 of us just walk in with flat bills. Everybody just looking at us, okay? Going into the championship game. I mean, we were busting everybody. We just played really good. We played really, really well together. We all knew each other. We played off each other. We've been playing years against or with each other. And so we had really good team chemistry. Um, I was a 3-point shooter. I was the shooter on the squad. Spot up. One dribble, two dribble, pull up, get to the rim type of deal. And then we had really good point guards. We had really good distributors. We had guys who could crash the boards. We had guys who could block the shot. We had guys who could throw down, alley oops. We had everybody who fit every category on the team. We came in We beat this squad. Okay, I hold James Blackman Jr. by the way to 2 points. We're just gonna throw that out there. By the way, only time I was probably gonna ever be able to do that, but we'll just say that that squad that we win. We win the tournament. I mean, crowd goes
Hmm.
crazy. I mean that game was wild. Okay, the game was wild. I mean, it was down to the bat. I mean, back and forth. I mean, they underestimated us. They thought they were gonna come in, roll over. They weren't taking things seriously at first, and then they're like, "Oh shit!" Like these guys, like, I mean, we can hoop, And then,
Right, right.
and after that game, that's when I got a lot of coaches that were hitting me up. Like after that, it was like, I got back home, and like the answering machine, it was just going off with different coaches, different schools. Like, hey,
Yeah, yeah.
so that was pretty cool. I know. I mean, there's a lot of good memories from that summer ball, but that was just a story against guys like that and being at Spiece
Yeah.
but we'd always go to the mall, and that was like kind of like a mall store. We went and got all those flat bills and whatnot. I mean, you would just think a bunch of 15-year-olds walking in. And I
Right,
mean
right.
Spiece. If you've ever been to Spiece Fieldhouse in Fort Wayne, I mean during those tournaments, there's thousands and thousands of
Right,
people
right,
there.
right.
So I think that was also the year. I think that was the year. It was either my 15 or 16-year-old year. I won the USSSA National 3-point contest at Spiece,
Oh,
and
nice.
that was crazy. That was amazing lifetime achievement for me. I still got the plaque and everything in the hung up and whatnot because I ended up having to make 29 out of 30 to win.
Damn,
Because
damn.
I mean, I was going up against guys from every state, and
Yeah,
we had a
yeah.
guy in the dunk contest too, and he put on a show. But man, we had I think his name was Donnie Hale. No, no, that doesn't sound right. He played at New Albany. He was a hooper, but I think he got in trouble and whatnot. But he was a hooper, and man, he could throw down. I mean,
Yeah.
just the people, and you hit those shots. I mean, it was crazy. So a lot of crazy, fun stories from back in the day during that time.
Right, right.
I remember there was this one time, so at Spiece, so we would play. I mean, obviously we'd play our games and everything, and because we would spend hold on one second. I had to just go place her in her bed. I
I
was
had to
like,
pee.
seriously? I said, I'm going to play with you literally right after the podcast. And it's not like I just got done wrestling and playing with her before the podcast. It's not like I just gave her treats. It's not like I just let her outside and took her for a run. I mean, it's not like I just did all those things. Still not enough for her for me to be allowed to do a podcast for an hour because, oh my gosh, I'm paying attention to somebody else. Oh man. I'm telling you, she been whining, like acting like I hadn't paid attention to her all morning. Yeah, 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 whatever.
So did on your basketball teams, did you guys ever do like any team bonding things that like surprised or like you didn't tell your parents or anything? Like, did you guys do like pasta parties or like pregame parties like the day before games and stuff like that?
I mean, we always did like team bonding thing. I mean, high school we always had like the night before we would have like team dinners and stuff like that. Like each person like their parents or they would host like the team dinner. We'd go out
Yeah,
to the house and
like
whatnot.
rotate houses and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we did that like my junior and senior year, sophomore, junior, senior year. And then in college, we did like team dinners and stuff like that. But we also did a bunch of like team bonding activities. Plus, just living on campus. I mean, obviously you're partying with each other. You're going to dinner with each other. You're going to class with each other. I mean, you're
Right, right.
basically family at that point. So you're doing everything with
Yeah.
each other at that point and whatnot.
Right. No, no, I bring it up because so we for soccer we call them pasta parties because like the whole carb load thing the day before,
Hmm.
which now I'm thinking didn't work at all, but whatever. It was a thing, right? So like you said, rotate houses, do all that. Well, one of my teammates, his parents were like uber rich and had a huge house, like a pool and everything. So they're like, so we were going into a tournament. It was a 2-day tournament with all like the local high schools within like, I don't know, an hour to 2 hour radius. So we played like 6 games over the course of 2 days, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, you know what? Let's have the entire team over. Coaches come over for dinner too. Coaches leave. Everybody just stays at our house, and then they had one of those big like 14-seater conversion fences, and they're like, we'll just bring the whole team to the tournament. So it was like this big event, right? So we do everything, do the dinner, swim, do all that shit, playing basketball. And so one of the guys comes down with clippers, like razors, and they're like, you know what we should do? Let's not tell anybody, and everybody gets a mohawk, and we go out on the field, and the whole team have mohawks. So if we do it, so the whole team mohawks, and like his parents wake up, they didn't know we did it. They're freaking out because they're like, we're responsible for us, and we were all at their house, and we're like, it'll be fine, whatever. So we get in there. The coach calls us all idiots, jokingly. And so we run out on the field. Everybody is in a mohawk, and we absolutely fucking crushed the tournament. Like we played like we had never played before. It was just like we won every game that weekend. But yeah, that
Nice.
was that was one where like it's almost like because we played it's called school field, which is before high school started getting their own football field. That was like the shared high school field
Mm-hmm.
for all the local high schools. So we were playing on a football field, and it was like a 2 day tournament. So that I mean, it wasn't a packed house, but a full house for high school soccer. And it was almost like you could hear the audible like silence fall when we ran out. It was like 12, freshmen, sophomore in high school running out with all having mohawks. It was pretty good. Yeah.
Um, I was thinking, so I'll tell you this. So my freshman year of college, up at Lake Forest. So it was freshman orientation week. Well, the last couple days, the upperclassmen, arrive on campus and whatnot, and we finish out our week and everything.
Right.
Well, there's me and four other of my teammates. We're down at the beach, and we've been, all of us. I mean, we got like there's boats pulled up to the beach, like little yachts and things like
Yeah.
that. Because
Yeah.
I mean, this is a rich school. I mean, we're in the northern suburbs of Chicago.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. All that.
Mm-hmm. You're
Well,
not living there unless you got money.
yeah, yeah. And so I'm out on the boat. I've been drinking, playing beach volleyball, got girls in bikinis around me. And we get a text message, right? We get on the group message, and they're doing like a little open gym, with some of the upperclassmen who just got there. Well, me and four guys that were with me, like our little squad, we were kind of performing. We're like, nah, we're not going to that. One of my other buddies, he's like, no, I'm gonna go. I gotta go. I'm gonna go up to that. I'm like, one, we're not gonna make it back up there in time because we're way down off the. I mean, it's still the campus, but it was so spread out, and you had to go down to get to like the beach part. And none of us had cars because I mean, the freshmen you weren't allowed to have cars on
Right.
campus. And so I'm like, no, it's gonna take us like at least 45 minutes to get back up to the dorm to like our dorms, get our stuff. It's gonna take us another 15 minutes to walk to the gym. We're gonna walk to the lock. I'm like, there's no way we're gonna make it in time. And I said, one, it's freshman orientation week. They did this stuff too. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, they can do their open run today. I'm like, I'm fine with staying here. Like, I'm enjoying myself. Like, I'm only a
Yeah.
freshman. I'm only a freshman on freshman orientation week one time. And when I got girls in bikinis around me, I've been playing beach volleyball, playing cornhole. I'm on the beach, living sunlight, 19 years old,
Yeah.
away from home. What do you expect me to like? What's the
Right.
decision you expect me to make right there? So me and
Right.
my, four of the guys were like, nah, we're not doing this. Well, my one other buddy, goes up there. He gets up there. He's like a minute late. A minute late. They don't let him participate. Okay, they get shitty with him. They don't let him participate. He's texting us and like all crappy. He's like, man, I should have stayed. This is bull. It low key ticked us off because we're like, and so, well, we had open gym again the next day. All right, so we go in, and like some of the upperclassmen, we're starting to be a little crappy with me and a couple of the guys, trying to like, intimidate us and things like that.
Right, right.
But little do they know I could have busted every one of these guys on the team
Hmm.
because one, I'm like, y'all been crap the last couple years, and we'll see, we'll see. So they were starting to be crappy, so they put me and the four guys on one team. Okay, the four other freshmen,
Mm-hmm.
and we came in with a class, I think, of 12 or 15 freshmen. Okay, I mean, we came in with a huge class. I mean, not very many people finished the year because it was a hard program. The conditioning, the way he ran it, the coach. I mean, just the everything he did. There's a reason he would bring in a lot of people every year because I mean, by the time you got to a senior, there's one or two people left.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that crazy. And I mean, the workouts was ridiculous, but I mean, it is what it is. I enjoyed it. I mean, it built character. I built relationships with these guys that'll last a lifetime. Memories, all that. Well, we go in this open gym, so it's us five against some of these upperclassmen. Bro, we run everybody off the court. We don't lose a single game this whole time. I'm just splashing I'm hitting from everywhere, and we're just running our mouths. And you can
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
this guy's just so pissed off at me. Like, man, he just kept trying to get in my grill. And the thing is with me, if I'm mad, I play better. If you tick me
Yeah.
off, I play better. And so I'm just pulling up at this point from like 30 feet, just dropping them. And if
Yeah.
y'all don't believe me, I mean, I could post some videos and stuff if you like. But I mean, it was hilarious. And the one guy, lefty 6'9" center. I mean, he had hands like no other. I mean, I could feed him and he could lay it in, but dude could find me anywhere on the court. Like he was a Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Nikola Jokic, and that dude was Nick Limley. Shout out Nick Limley. That dude could find you anywhere on the court. I mean, he was a point guard at heart, and I mean, our freshman squad, we were unstoppable. We beat the upperclass. I mean, in practice, it was hilarious. I mean, we bust them every single day. And I can have those guys just hop up on my comments and be like, "Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that's true." But it sucks because, academics wise, it was a tough school as well. It was a private school.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my first day at class. My first day of class, I walked in and we're sitting there. This is my first college class ever. Okay, we're sitting there. And the professor walks in and he goes, "All right, raise your hand if you're from a private school.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody damn near raised their hand except me. Everybody raised their hand except me." And he goes, "Okay, anybody that came from a public school, raise your hand." And obviously I raised my hand. I'm the only one.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You're already behind." And that was the first sentence that a professor had said to me in my college career. I'm like, what? And I wasn't a good student anyway, so I'm like, oh no. I was on academic probation, my whole first year. Wasn't as bad as Jeff Cook. He had a 0.8. I had a 1.8. He had a 0.8, and that was horrible. But man, it sucked because being on academic probation. But I love that school, and there's my grandpa ended up getting sick, and a couple things happened, and I decided to transfer. And to this day, I wish I wouldn't have. But again, I I have made a lot of good memories at Purdue Northwest and met a lot of great friends and great teammates at Purdue Northwest. Just unfortunately, I feel like when I transferred there, my injuries and everything had happened, and then I don't know. It just a lot of things happened there, and it just yeah. I don't know if things would have just been a little bit different. Who would have said? But I made a lot of great memories at Purdue Northwest, Purdue Calumet, then Purdue Northwest because it combined into Purdue North Central to become
Right.
Purdue Northwest. But I made a lot of great friends, great memories. Played some great basketball there at times, and I talk to some of those guys still to the day as well that I still have really good relationships with, and I don't regret those at all. That's the thing I don't regret is the teammates and the relationships and the friendships you build with each other because you spend like so much time with each other, your family, and those are some of the best things that come out of playing sports is being able to have that kind of camaraderie and things like that, companionship with everyone. So it was a lot of fun, but dating crazy girls during the time and stuff like that. Just yeah, too. And then I'm just gonna say that right there. We're just gonna go past that.
I don't know
Move
if
forward.
those stories are podcast appropriate.
Yeah, no, we don't need to air out no dirty laundry on here. I really could, but I won't. I won't. I'm more mature than that. I don't like to kiss and tell, like that, and that wouldn't be really kissing and telling that kind of dirty laundry in a way. So that'd be different dirty laundry. But anyways, I'm not like that. So y'all safe out there. Yeah, y'all keep doing what you're doing.
Jason's public service announcement. That was brilliant. Y'all keep doing what you're doing out there.
Y'all keep doing what you're doing out there.
Oh gosh. Yeah, there's some stories.
Always. And that's why I'll share a story. This ain't a relationship story, okay? But this is a reason why I don't have Tinder, okay? This is one solid good reason why I don't have Tinder, okay?
Okay.
So I had Tinder at one point back in college. This was my sophomore year of college, okay?
Okay.
So we just played Purdue North Central. We got beat, like we got thumped, okay?
Yeah.
Well, I've been messaging this girl on Tinder for like probably a couple days, few days, probably a week. And like she lived in Lake Station. So I don't know if you know where Lake Station is. It's not a good area, okay?
No,
so I'm
it's
I'm
not a
living in
good
the
area.
Hammond, East Chicago, Gary region,
Yeah, yeah.
okay? You got Highland
Not
up
a good
there, you got
area.
Munster. So, well, I'm messaging this girl after the game. I'm like, yeah, we sucked. It was horrible. Like practice is gonna be rough in the morning. Well, I thought you lost me.
No,
Well,
you're good.
okay,
I was
so
just
I'm like,
adjusting.
yeah, practice is gonna be rough in the morning. Well, she's like, oh, I can make you feel better. Da 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 da.
Oh
Just come over to the
gosh.
house afterwards. So I was like, okay. I'm 20 years old. So I'm like, okay, well, we get back off the bus, or at this time, we're off the bus back to the apartments and everything. Well, I text my one teammate, Danny. I text my buddy Danny Passion. Shout out Danny. I messaged him. I said, hey, I'm not from this area. Is Lake Station a good area? Well, I don't hear anything back from him. I'm like, I shower, I head out.
Gosh.
I didn't hear anything back from him, so I'm just going to make my way out, Well, I get there, and she lives in this, like, it's like this Section 8 housing district. And, like, there's, like, an alley, a house, an alley, house, out. Like, it's, like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Real small houses, too. Like, they look, 1 to
Like
2
cookie cutter
bedroom.
houses,
Yeah,
like yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I pull in, in the little alleyway, right? And I get a text message from Danny. Danny texted me and said, "Don't go to Lake Station. It's not a good area. Don't go to Lake Station." I remind you, this is like midnight. Okay, this is like around midnight. And he's like, "Don't go to Lake Station. Don't go to Lake Station." Well, as I get this text message, the girl's at the door waving for me to come in. So I'm like, I can't just back up out of here or move forward. Like I can't, that'd be rude. Now be rude. I can't. You gotta test the waters, right? And I
Especially
ain't.
now that you know that you're in a bad part of town, and then if you like blow this girl off, you don't know who's coming after
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I've been put. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right, right, right. So, I go into the house, everything. We turn on Netflix, put on American Pie, right? So in this house, you got the living room, and you could see the little kitchen area because there's like a little divider, so you can see the kitchen, and you got the bedroom right here and the bathroom. Okay, so all of that's right in this little square footage area. Okay, I guarantee it's not even 850 square feet. So very,
Hmm.
very tiny, very tiny. Okay, you can see the front door from the bedroom.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So obviously things lead to another and we go to the bedroom, okay? So while we're in the bedroom, give or take what you want to think, there's a knock on the door. She's like, forget it, forget it, forget it. Well, all right, I'll listen. Well, knock gets louder, okay? Gets louder and louder, and it's like a bang, 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 bang. So
Yeah,
she finally
yeah.
calmly gets up, which I don't know how you calmly get up at this point. I'm like, you need to go check that door. And she's like, okay. Well, she goes and checks the door, looks out the
All
peephole.
right, pause there. I'll be right back. We're back. Pounding on the door. She's going to the door calmly.
So, okay, here we go. So she's so we hear pounding on the door. She goes up to the door. She looks out the peephole. Okay. She slowly turns around, like not slowly. She turns around and, her face, like she looked like a deer in headlights. Like her eyes go. She's like, you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
go, you gotta go. I'm like, what's that? She's like, that's my boyfriend. That's my boyfriend. He gonna kill you. You get out. I'm like, I'm out. So at this time, this was the worst night to wear my SpongeBob boxers, by the way. So and by the way, this is
The fact that you
mid-January.
own SpongeBob boxers
Yeah.
is a travesty in and of
Hey,
itself.
hey, hey, hey. So this is mid-January. So she's running in the room. She's like, you gotta get out. You gotta get out. That's my boyfriend. He'll kill you. I get up, hop out of bed, boom. Hop right out of bed, got my SpongeBob boxers on. I grab my stuff, get my shoes and everything. I go to hop out the window. Well, my foot gets caught in the window and I fall out the window in the snow, which that was a bummer. Pick up my stuff and I go to walk around the corner of the house and everything to get to my car. At this time, I drive a 2004 Pontiac Grand Prix. Is my first car. I got no suspension in the back, and that's another story for another time. The car's got a lot of memories. It was on its last days. It was. And my key fob wasn't the greatest. Did not like to work at times. So I'm like going around the corner, and I look, and at the door, there's this big guy, do-rag, black coat on, black pants, and a big black Yukon Denali. He looks over, sees me, and goes, mother. And all he does is do the little, like, pick up his little shirt in front to show, like, hey, I got a piece. I didn't see the piece. Didn't need to. Because I was already taking off at this point. I started taking off around the house, okay? This dude's chasing me, all right? This dude's chasing me around the house. So he's chasing me around the house. I have my key fob in my hand, trying to hit the freaking unlock button. It's not working. So I got to make another lap around the house, right? So I make another lap around the house. This dude's still chasing me. I go around the lap around the house again. It's still not working. So I got to make another lap. And by the way, I'm running so fast around the house. At this point in time, I can see the back of the guy who was chasing me. To where if this guy was legit smart enough, he would have just stopped and waited for me to make my extra lap around the house because I was almost chasing him at this point because I was running so damn fast. Because I was like, my life is in danger at this point. Finally, about the fourth lap around the freaking house, my car finally gets the key fob and hits the unlock button, okay? I hop in the car, out the alley I go, end up getting Taco Bell. End up going back to the apartments. I walk in the apartment, and there's Chaz, Mo, and Danny. And Danny's like, what the hell, man? He goes, I've just tried to call and text you like 12, 15 times. I said, you have no idea what I just went through. Well, practice is the next morning. I walk into practice. Well, I walk in the locker room, and I'm getting ready and everything. And um, Eric, Big E, comes on in. He's this big Mexican manager. Love Big E, Big Eric Garcia. Shout out Big Eric. This dude was hilarious. Dude would give it back to Coach Voldry, which we all hate Coach Voldry. Dude looked like Voldemort from Harry Potter. Man, I remember Day Day would always say, Mama always told me never trust no man with no eyebrows. Day Day would always say that, which he was 100% right. But I'm in the locker room. It's just me and Eric comes in. He's like, just getting the stuff, putting the stuff like in the laundry and the basket and everything. And he looks up at me and he says nonchalantly, yeah, if anybody would have told me that any of y'all would have been jumping out a window at like 2 o'clock in the morning, my vote would have been on you. My vote would have been on you. So he goes, it's a little bit different. Lake Station, a little bit different than Logansport, right? And I said, don't even get me started, So I deleted Tinder shortly after that because I was like, that was no bueno. Very, very unsettling. And I'll remind you this. These SpongeBob boxers, bright yellow, okay? Bright yellow with a big white bulgy eyes on the front part and on the booty. So you got big SpongeBob eyes. So you got to think, if you just think about being in the house across the street, you see this white guy and bright yellow boxers running around a house while there's other dude chasing them at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was probably the only, like, that's what I'm saying.
See, it's not Tinder's fault. It's your fault. You didn't do your research good enough.
Well, there was no research button on Tinder. If there was like a background check.
But my point is, you should have said, where's Lake Station? How is Lake... I mean, you already were in a Hammond-Gary area, which isn't that good to begin with, and now you're going to Lake Station?
Hey, you know what? Now it's a story I can tell to this day. And it was like my initiation story.
Luckily you can tell it.
Hey, luckily, yeah. It was my initiation story I told at Department of Child Services. And so then my nickname was Bob after that. And puppers.
The worst part about that story is the fact that you own SpongeBob SquarePants boxers.
I don't own them anymore, unfortunately.
That's the worst part.
Those are a sexy set of boxers, not gonna lie.
No. If it has anything to do with SpongeBob, it can't be sexy.
It was a good pair of boxers. It was. I don't have those boxers anymore, so I do not. Oh, bless you. But no.
I don't even own a pair of boxers.
You wear briefs?
Yeah.
I switch it up. If I work out.
Boxer briefs.
Yeah, if I'm working out or going to work and I'm wearing like jeans and I gotta wear like my dress pants and stuff like that, I'll wear briefs. But if like I'm just like outside wearing gym shorts and stuff, I'm wearing box. I like the free range, the free roam.
No, because then it starts flopping around and flops out, and it's no.
Hey, that's how you get attention.
I don't need to go to a family cookout and get attention that way.
Oh man, no! Now you're making things weird. No,
what's funny is now that when I see you tomorrow, you're gonna be looking at my crotch, being like, "Is you?"
No. Now you're making things weird. Right, Zoe.
No, I like a controlled environment down there.
Understandable.
Now if I'm home, there's a good 95% chance I'm commando.
Well, I'll make sure never to surprise you at your house on a Saturday. Hey, just thought I'd come by and visit.
Oh, there's been plenty of times you've been in my house and I'm going commando.
Well, it wouldn't be anything new. I mean, there's times where I'd go pick up the truck at my grandpa's house and I knock on the door and he answers the door in his tighty-whities. I'm like, Grandpa. Like, come on, man. Like, that's what I want to see. I'm like,
dude, but
I'm like, it's 11 o'clock. I'm like, 1, you should be out of bed. Two, you're 84 years old. I don't want to see you in your tidy whities. Yeah, you're in great shape and whatnot for 84 years old. You act like you're 21. But Grandpa, come on now. And he knows it. He just, what? What?
Oh yeah. See,
What?
that's the best part about getting old. You don't have to give two
Yeah.
shits.
Oh, he don't
You're just
care.
like, whatever.
Yeah, he's like, you're coming to my house. What do you want me to do? He's like, you're lucky I put underwear on. I'm like, oh, God. I don't need to see that.
I mean, there's times where like I'll walk out to my car in my briefs and like whatever, it's just like shorts.
I don't know how many times at DCS and like, or heck, people would answer like it. I'm telling you, I've just been in some really, really situations, and I'm telling you, man, it just. I wish at times I could have walked around with like a camera crew, like at the job and whatnot, because it made buku bucks
Uh,
on that.
oh yeah. I could have made so much money when I was working at Martin's in like kind of the ghetto of South Bend. So many stories
Mhm.
from that place.
I
Oh, it was
swear.
entertaining. Like everybody like said when you go there it was terrible just because of where it was and customer base and all that stuff. And I had the most fun at that store than any other store because like like I said, it's kind of the ghetto of South Bend. And so you could get away with talking back to customers and
Mhm.
like I mean you couldn't like swear at them and stuff like that. I mean every now and then you got away with it, but like you could give them a little shit back and like put them in their place. Like you could at no other Martin store because you had to like play by the rules.
Mhm.
It was so fun. It was so fun. One of my favorite stories. It might be my all-time favorite story. We had a lot of shoplifters there, and I worked there when you wouldn't get in trouble for chasing down shoplifters.
Mhm.
So I'm in the office. So like the store, you walk in, and then to the right there's customer service. Then just past that is like the manager's office.
Mhm.
So I'm in the manager's office, and one of our baggers runs in and just screams, "He just ran out the door!" So I get up, I sprint out, and this dude has stuffed like steaks down the front of his pants.
Mhm.
So I take off running. I catch him at the liquor store that's at the edge of the parking lot right before you get to the street. And I grab him and like spin him against the glass. And I just hold him there because I knew that people were coming behind me. So I just like
Mhm.
held him there long enough to get other people to drag him back in. And so I'm on one arm, there's a guy on the other arm, and someone's following us in. And we get to the store, and this old black lady was sitting on the bench by the door with a cane, watched the whole thing transpire. I come walking in, and she stands up with the cane and holds out her fist and goes, "I ain't never seen a white boy run that fast," and gave me a fist bump. And I was just like, that's the greatest thing of all time. Like, that's
Mhm.
the best compliment I could ever get.
Mhm.
Like I said, she was like bent over, stereotypical cane old lady. I
Mhm.
was like, that's awesome.
I'm telling you, those make
Uh,
for like the best stories, and I mean, I wish
uh,
I mean I could come on here and talk about like DCS just because of all
oh
the
my
crap.
gosh. Yeah.
I mean, seeing obviously you see like dead babies, dead children. I say that
Yeah,
like
that's
it's
the
an
shitty
everyday
part.
thing, which is pretty much an
Mm-hmm.
everyday. I mean, you don't see dead children, dead babies every day, but I've seen my fair share of the fatalities, whether it's dead children, dead grandmas, dead adults, all the
Yeah.
sex abuse, the physical abuse, but also just like the craziness, the drugs, the I got locked in a basement. I got chased by a pit bull on cocaine. You know. I mean the list goes on with that job. I mean I can just go on countless and countless like stories of this all the stuff that like I ain't got chased by a freaking guard rooster and whatnot, or just being out on call at 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, walking in like people's yards that are big time meth users and things
Mm-hmm.
like that, and just walking with law enforcement. There's one time I went after a child molester with in a bulletproof vest with the state police, which was freaking dope. But
Yeah.
like the bad thing is I can't share all these awesome, fantastic stories because obviously,
Mm-hmm.
purposes and wise, and and
Yeah.
whatnot. But the people I worked with at that job, I met Meemaw and Deanna and a couple others. They, that was a tough job. It was a very, very tough job. And hundreds and hundreds of investigations that I did there in the 4 years. And just the stuff that you have to see and witness. And the bad thing is sometimes DCS will get a bad rap because out in the public eye they think that DCS has the full decision on like removing a child, and what people don't realize is it's not just the investigator's decision with removing a child. I said there was many times where I wanted to remove a child, but there's other minds and decisions that
Other
go into
factors
that.
and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that go into that rebutted or we could not remove that child. But at the end of the day, social media or whatever, they're like, oh, that person went into the house and didn't remove that child. Obviously, he wasn't doing what he was doing. No. The list goes on. It is what it is.
Right.
But it just got to the point when you see like dead babies, or you're sitting there taking pictures of like reenacting fatalities or whatever the case may be, or you're walking to houses seeing all sorts of stuff, and you just become immune to it, and it's just like, oh, it's another day, it's an everyday thing. That's when I was like, okay. And it was the work-life balance and all that kind of stuff on top of that. But now I work in a highly violent maximum prison, which I love and enjoy, and I love going to work every day. And I'm in the medical, in a medical position there, which I, worked my way up and enjoy it and stuff. But I think with my jobs and stuff like that, I always like that adrenaline rush. I always like being in an environment where you have no idea what you're walking to each and every day. And that's how I've always kind of been. So that's why I kind of picked the jobs in the field that a lot of other people think I'm crazy for picking the jobs that I have, but those have been my two big career jobs that I enjoy, and I do what I do. But, all right, well,
all right, man.
Obviously our
Till next
credentials
time.
are up in the corner. This
Right
way.
here.
Yep. They're here.
Right here.
No, point up,
Yeah.
Dan. Point up, Dan. Point up. There.
This way?
You're still. You're
This
going.
way?
No, up, like straight up in the air. Straight up. There we go.
Like
so
that?
right there.
There
Follow
we
us on
go.
Twitter or email us if you have any ideas, questions, comments, concerns.
Yeah. We did get some shirts made.
Mm-hmm.
They are going fast. So if you want some, let us know, because we might be out soon, but we can order more. We've got shirts. Maybe that's something we can post on our Twitter and Facebook, is pictures of the shirts and what they look like. So we'll do that. And then if you guys have interest in it, again, email us. The information's right there.
Yes, sir. All right. Till next time.
Deuces.
Stay safe.